Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the Object 261. It's the Tier 10 Soviet SPG. This one's located on the north spawn of Malinovka, and it's under the command of Triggerjockey.
Let's go.
Game on. Well, he's got the side-by-side skill operating at the moment, but I'm not sure everyone's going to stay in the same spot. In fact, it looked like the Conqueror gun carriage, his teammate there, was actually moving to a new firing position. In the meantime, he appears to be aiming where he thinks the enemy's going to be when they go into the forest at the back. And no, he hasn't really got a specified target at the moment. In fact, I think he's aiming a little too far back. He may be looking for the enemy tracer. The enemy do have Arty in this game. They've got a T92 HMC and an Object 261. So he's probably looking for the tracer from those guys. Well, his concentration skill's working, and it looks like he is still fairly close to the Conqueror gun carriage. So he might have the side-by-side working at the same time. Now, did we see a tracer? No, we didn't. No tracer yet from the enemy Arty. But we'll probably see the impact point when they do actually fire. In fact, we have. In fact, both of them have just fired, and they're going for the Leopard 1. Looks like they're in the forest at G0. I say that because we just saw tracer coming from that general direction. Oh! Well, that's pretty fatal for the Leopard 1. He just got nuked out of existence. Got the side of him. In fact, the Caro was very happy about that because he was on the receiving end of the spotting coming from that Leopard. Okay, I expect the enemy RT will now be readjusting their aim to the north, to the top of the hill. I say the north of the map actually, but we are on the north of the map at the moment. So they're just adjusting to the northeast corner of the map where the hill is. And yeah, we just saw the tracer coming out off the ground. And yes, it's exactly where I thought it would be, on the border between G0 and H0. Well, he probably could have fired that one up towards the hill so they could actually get the enemy heavies. There's an awful lot of them, but instead he's decided to change position just for the moment. And it looks like he's going to try and support his teammates who are making a quick move towards the enemy cap area. But yes, he's gone the other side of the inlet. Very odd decision for the first part of the battle. But anyway, let's have a look. Well, lots of enemy tanks on the lower level. And our BZ-75 is getting pummeled. But if we fire around in there right now, we'll probably get more than one. Round south. Well, he splashed too, but the Super Conqueror and the T95E6 are still alive. And unfortunately, the BZ is no longer. Oh, and that was pretty fatal as well. And that was the Super Conqueror nuking our 277. So things are not going well up the hill. In fact, the guys who are up there, most of them have either been killed or they've been pushed back. And we're now... Oh, that was an armor-piercing round. He decided to fire one up, and he actually got a pin on the Supercop for 208. But look at these guys bunching together. Now, this is where the non-stun HE might have a big effect, but of course, he probably wants the stun at this moment so that he can get the communications expert working. There is an event happening on top of the hill. Either a bomber going in, and he fired another armor-piercing round. This time, of course, the Super Cop, but he didn't get anything from that. There's the wreck of the aircraft landed on top of the windmill. Okay, he's loaded again. And he gets another pin on the Super Cop, but this time it's 598, and that is a high roll. Because remember, it's 520 alpha with the arm piercing. So 593 is actually not 598, 593 is still a high roll, whichever way you look at it. In fact, that Super Conk is now one shot for him if he can get this one in. Round south. Well, again, close, but no cigar on that one, I'm afraid. He only got 243 from the, I think that was a, I think it was a stun assist round, because of course he did get stunned. He's loading another armor piercing round, so I think he wants to finish one of these guys off. Rounds out. In fact, he hits the other Super Conk for 548, and that guy must realise he's being hit with armor penetrating rounds from an Arty, and really he's not built to take that amount of damage from an Arty. It's too much. It's either that or crumbs. An Amarak would be about the same sort of level. Okay, another armor piercing. Lined up, rounds out, and another pen. 532 this time. I'm sure that Super Conk is looking for us, but he's not going to find us because we're not in the view zone. We're way outside it, over the other side of the map. Okay, well, if we hit that Super Conk, we'll bring him down to a one shot. Last night, armor piercing round. Let it settle. Not the best circumstances to hit him front on, but it does pen, and it looked like it actually went into the hull. So now we're loading the stun HE. So he's actually made good use of some of those armor piercing rounds, because I think, what was it, 4 out of 5 actually did work. Yes, all of them against Super Conks, but different ones. He fires another one, hits the Viz 55 for 363, stuns him for 80 seconds. He also got the Super Conk at the same time, so he must have been just behind the Viz 55 when he got hit. The Super Conk is actually on our, the Conqueror gun carriage rubber on our team has actually positioned himself nearest, probably to pick up the a bit of support. But it is going rather well so far, because he's done 3,280 actual damage to the enemy. Now, the enemy, well, they managed to kill 6 of our tanks. We killed 6 of theirs. But it's also noticeable that they've done more damage to our tanks than we've done to theirs. So, not going so great in that sense, but it certainly seems that most of the damage we're doing, it's actually coming from Triggrjockey. Okay, so he fired one in, doing a bit of counter battery. I think at the moment, the main reason why he's doing that is that there wasn't many enemy tanks he could actually aim at. The problem we've got at the moment is the Jaeger is the nearest tank on the south side, and he's actually returning to our cap area. We're one up on the enemy, but that Jaeger is basically surrendering territory. Now, if he was still up, still down the other end, I would have actually said, well, go across the field, or at least get closer to him so that we could seize the enemy cap area. But it looks like they're putting up a fairly strong defense of their cap area. Okay, MX-50B right up on top of the hill. He's engaging our IS-7, rounds out the AMX. Yep, he got a hit for 246. He's keeping up the pressure. In fact, he tracked the guy, and because of that, he's picked up nearly another 1,907 hit points of assist out of that one for the tracking. And these guys are being forced back. There's one of the Conquerors. And here's a one-shot. Lining up. Rounds out. Looks good. Oh, he got the kill! The guy took a hit. It was only 62 hit points he managed to get out of it, but it is a kill. So now the difference is paying off. There's 4 enemies left. They've got a mouse, a Hurry 3, an Object 261, and a T92 HMC. The Hurry 3 might be the problem. They do have a tendency to be quite strong tank destroyers. And our guys are taking... that Leopard looks like he's moving in such a way as to avoid the Hurry, and he's found him. He's gone up behind him now. Can we put a round into this guy? We're loaded with the stun. fires the round in, does get a hit. He looked away and I did pull back so we could see. But the Homry is taking a lot of damage and we're getting the stun assist off this. 981, there's the kill shot. So he got a massive amount of stun assist off that shot alone. And yes, he's definitely got the concentration skill. He should have the communications expert skill now as well, but maybe he didn't select it. Okay, our team are now moving south because there's only one heavy tank, the Mouse, and the two Arty. I guess the Ho-Ri 3 was the only tank they had, the only means they had to stop our guys from taking over the top of the hill and coming back down the other side. Oh, and our IS-7 gets eaten by a Mouse, which means he's further along, and there he is. Oh, that's the T-92, and he's out. There's still that 261, but we don't know where the Mouse is. The Mouse just killed our TVP T-50-51. Our Jaegeru's moving in. Well, both Arty were firing in the same general direction. So it looks like the Conqueror gun carriage has moved closer because, of course, he's got a shorter range. Has also tried to intercept and kill that 261. They're indicating where they think they are. We're almost loaded. Okay, one round of stun. There's the Mouse. Rounds out. Well, we splashed the Mouse for 416 and we're getting stun assist. He is taking a lot of punishment. In fact, it's coming from the Caro 45T and the T57 Heavy. Yep, we can lay around down on top of the Mouse. 283 from that one. It's only the Mouse left. The Object 261's gone. And Jaeger gets close, but I'm afraid he's too close actually. Almost like he's asking for trouble. He's only got 135 hit points, and yes, the Mouse finishes him with one round. But here's a one shot. Rounds out. Oh, and that's the kill that wins the game. Here's the end of battle stats and yet another ace tanker to show from Triggerjockey in the Object 261. He managed to get a mousetrap out of that one. That's for killing 10 or more Panzerkampfwagen act in the game. That's the mouse to you and me. Yes, he managed to kill 10 mice and that's earned him a badge. He also managed to get a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 13. He got a Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. And probably what you didn't spot, but you may have, well, I don't know if you did or you didn't, because it's happened 3 times today that somebody's come really, really close. That was almost a Faden's medal. Almost, not quite. He did kill the last enemy with his second to last shell. Yes, he used up 19 of his shells. His next round would have been the kill shot. But unfortunately, it was the second to last shell, the penultimate one, that actually did kill the mouse. And, well, it earned him a medal anyway, even if he didn't get the Fadens. His win rate from that one, 6,422, which is Super Unicum standard and a bit more. Let's have a look at team score and see what else he managed to do. Well, we can see the highest damage in this game actually went to the Leopard 1 on our team, who managed 5,623, but he didn't get 20%, and that's why he didn't pick up the high caliber. Second highest damage went to Triggerjockey with 4,694, and of course he picked up the Gauze medal. And the third highest damage actually went to the T57 Heavy on our team, who got a Spartan medal and 4,665. The Conqueror gun carriage on our team, well, he got a Confederate and 2,433, so well done to him. And then we can see that the Caro actually managed to get the Bescucci's medal because he killed both enemy SPGs in that battle. The Object 261 on the enemy team also picked up a Confederate because he was pumping out those shells as fast as he could, trying to hit as many of our guys as he could in the game. And so he actually gets the benefit of having a medal because that will pump up his score. He'll actually get more credits, more XP because he earned a medal in a losing game. When it came to kills, we can see the top scorer was the Carrow. He picked up 4 kills. The Leopard and Triggerjockey both got 3 kills apiece. So did the Mouse on the enemy team. And 2 kills went to the Conqueror gun carriage on our team as well. And when it came to base XP, well, we can see the top scorer was the IS-7. He was getting 1,231 base experience points. 1,072 went to the Leopard 1 and 1,049 went to Triggerjockey, and they were the top 3 players who managed to make it over 1,000 base in the game, so they're the ones who worked hard. So did the Conqueror gun carriage. Red Ferris, not heard that name before, but he was working hard as well because he got 970, 2.5k of damage and 2 kills. So yes, again, we're finding Arty players who are working harder than even some of the best heavy tanks on their team because they are getting kills, they are doing damage, and they're getting high base out of it as well. Let's have a look at detail. He fired 19 rounds. Yes, as I said, this thing only carries 20 rounds, and he managed to use up his penultimate one by killing that Mouse. 10 direct hits on the enemy, 4 penetrating shots, and 15 splash. Well, we saw those 4 penetration rounds. They were armor-piercing rounds, and he used them against the Sib Conquerors up on top of the hill, and he was penning them like a tank would. In fact, I think they must have been really upset because normally tanks you'd expect to lose something like, what, 490 alpha, 490 from a 105mm with the right, from the right tank, or if it's a 13 centimeter gun, you'd expect to see around about that sort of mark, but you wouldn't expect to get something in the region of 560 in terms of damage. And these were penetrating shots coming in from an Arty. So they must have been worried, especially if that Conqueror gun carriage had fired one at them, because that might have been even worse. 4,694 hit points of damage, and all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 9 in the enemy, killed 3. And he got 2,146 hit points of damage assist, where he'd actually tracked somebody and then got the assist off that, and 1,525 stun assist off 11 stuns. On a premium count, he actually made a profit of 70,787 credits from that game, Triggerjockey. He also got a 50,000 credit bonus for getting a mission complete. He picked up 32 bonds, 7 for this being a tier 10, and 25 for another mission completion, and 4,720 experience points out of it as well, with another mission completion of 787. So a very big game there for Triggerjockey, a very interesting one. Could have been a Fadens, would have been close, but yes, it wasn't on this occasion. But you can see how good Triggerjockey's got. He is actually in the sort of like ballpark that if he keeps pumping those rounds out and getting effective shots at the enemy, sooner or later, it's just going to fall into place. And he'll get a Fadens medal just like that, out of nowhere. Probably wouldn't even be counting his shells because he'd be just so focused on killing the enemy that he wouldn't keep track of how many shells he had left. But a lot of players do end up by accident picking up the Fadens medal, not even realizing that that was their last shell in the mag. So well done to Triggerjockey. Even though he didn't get the Fadens out of it, that's the 3rd player we've had today who's actually come really close to getting one. Well, 2nd rather, who's come close to getting it. We did get 1 player who actually did get the Fadens with their last round, and of course that was Zumbang Pong. So yes, Yubang Pong actually did it, and 2 other players came close. Not bad at all. Hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.